This demonstration is for spinach and ricotta triangles. The ingredients that you will need for this recipe include 1 packet of phyllo pastry, either 8 fresh spinach leaves or a packet of frozen leaves, 1 onion finely diced, 1 tub of 250 grams of ricotta cheese, half a cup of grated cheese, 2 eggs lightly beaten, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, a quarter of a cup of toasted pine nuts, which are optional, salt and pepper, and melted butter, and you may also like to place poppy or sesame seeds on top. The equipment needed today include a frying pan, a steamer or a saucepan, a chopping board, a knife, a large glass bowl, a small glass bowl, a grater if you're using block cheese, a pastry brush and an oven tray. To get started, preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. To prepare your spinach leaves, if you're using fresh, give them a good wash and remove the stalks. If you're using frozen spinach, just make sure it's defrosted. Either have taken it out a little bit before you need it or just defrost it in the microwave. Step 2, if you're using the fresh spinach, you need to finely shred the spinach. If you're using the frozen stuff, it will already be done for you. Step 3, if you're using the fresh spinach, you'll need to either cook it in a steamer or place it in some boiling water in a saucepan on the stove for a minute to 2 just to soften it. Once you have softened and slightly cooked the spinach, what you need to do then is place it under some running water, and this cold running water, and this is just going to stop the cooking process and so that the spinach doesn't overcook. Step 4, after you've had the spinach under the running water for a little while, squeeze out all the excess moisture and water using your hands. And you can see that there's just a fine ball there. I've given it a good squeeze so there's no extra moisture at all in our spinach. Step 5, saute your prepared finely diced onions and allow them to cool slightly. Step 6, in a large mixing bowl, place your spinach, your ricotta cheese, your grated tasty cheese, your onion, your eggs, your pine nuts, nutmeg, salt and pepper, and mix well to combine. Step 7, in a small glass bowl, melt your butter. Step 8, you're now going to prepare your phyllo pastry by removing it from the packaging. And a lot of people have trouble working with phyllo pastry as it tends to dry out extremely quickly when it's exposed to the air. So what you need to do is just dampen a tea towel and place that tea towel over the top of your pastry while you're working with it, and that's going to prevent it from drying out, and it will make it much easier for you to work with the pastry. Step 9. Take 1 piece of phyllo pastry and lay it out flat on a chopping board. What you're then going to do is brush this piece of pastry with some melted butter, and then you're going to lay a second sheet of pastry onto the top of the first sheet. Step 10, using either scissors or a knife, cut your phyllo pastry that you have prepared into 3 equal strips. Step 11, place a teaspoon of your prepared mixture at the bottom of the pastry strip. Step 12, this is probably where people start to find the process a little bit difficult. So I've tried to show you step by step how to fold your pastry. So what you need to do is fold the pastry across into a triangle to start with. Step 13, once you have begun the process, keep folding the triangle shaped filling up the strip until you have used it all up. So I've showed you step by step here just to try and make the process a little bit easier for you. When you get to the end, use some of the melted butter that you have and brush it on the end, and this is just going to help it stick and stay in place while it's cooking. Step 14. Place the triangles on a prepared oven tray that you've either sprayed with oil or covered with baking paper. Give them a brush on top with the melted butter, and you may like to sprinkle some poppy or sesame seeds on top. Continue this process with the remaining ingredients. Step 15, place your oven tray into your preheated oven for approximately 20 to 25 minutes until your pastry is crisp and lightly browned. Step 16, you're now ready to serve your warmed ricotta and spinach triangles.